We're going to talk about the forwards now. Your thoughts on Kevin Kranker in the first half, Justin, because he's a guy who can be a game changer for OU, but I don't think he's there yet to be that big game changer that we've seen the Grizzlies have in the past.
Yeah, I think he's slowed down a little bit the second half of the semester. I think overall it's going to take a toll on his body because he's getting hit a lot of open ice, a lot along the boards. He's got 20 points so far this year. I mean, he's doing well. He skates well with pretty much anybody he's playing with. Really knows how to move the puck. And he's missing that one player to try to finish off. And he's played well with Jordan McDonald. Yeah. So as long as he can try and get something going with players like that, I think he'll be all right.
Moving on here on our list is Kyle McMahon. He's been a pleasant surprise for the Golden Grizzlies. He's a guy who a lot of people viewed as a role player coming in, maybe third or fourth liner, and he certainly stepped it up and able to get some goals for the Golden Grizzlies and contribute offensively and do the things that they needed to do, and it would be nice for him to continue to do that here. He's absolutely sniped some nice shots this year so far.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job offensively, and I think I like about McMahon is he's offensively and defensively he's well sound. I mean, he can make big hits. He knows how to get back. He knows how to play well pretty much anywhere on the ice, especially with anyone on the team. He skates well with, and he moves the puck. He can shoot and pass just as well as anyone else. So he's been a pleasant surprise, and he's had a couple nifty goals so far this season.
Yeah, other forwards that we want to talk about here who stand out in our mind is Jesse Worrell. He's a guy who people look at to be one of the top two players on the team for the Golden Grizzlies forward-wise, along with Kevin Kranker, and then you can add a third one, Kyle McMahon, as we stated. Worrell's a guy who he does try to do too much. I know that I've heard that from some other people that are really close to him because he thinks he feels the need that he has to do that because maybe it's a pressure thing. I don't know what it is, but certainly for Jesse, that's one thing that he feels he has to do. But I think Worrell, if he just settles down a little bit, just keeps more of a visual open eye out for everything. I know we've talked about that, and we kind of agree and disagree a little bit on the good reasons and for doing that and for not doing that. But I think he can be an all-around player. Remember, the first time we saw Jesse Worrell out there in his first ever prospect camp with his team, we went out and talked to him, talked about how great he's going to be, but that's so far the thoughts on Jesse Worrell. What are yours?
Offensively, he's right up there with points. I think he's got 12 so far, second highest on the team. I think he will have a handful more if he just starts to, observe the ice surface a little more, just kind of realize who's open, who's not, where the play can develop from. I mean, too many times he skates in around the offensive zone. He'll just kind of keep the puck to himself, keep his head down, really not pay attention to the rest of the play that everyone else is trying to help him develop. And I think if he just kind of dishes the puck out a little more, he'll get those assists and he'll get those goals. He'll get those opportunities where they'll pass it back or he'll get a rebound. He'll put himself in the right position. So.
Next up on the list, Rick Dalecki. Here's a guy who, as long as Ricky's happy, we're happy, and I'm certainly happy with Rick Dalecki. I like what he does out there. He's a guy who I think can really be a big key goal scorer. He's had some injuries that have definitely hurt him this season, but he's going to be a guy that's going to be back there on forward. I know he switched back and forth with defense because of his injuries because he's played there before, according to Coach Hogan. So I just want to see Rick go out there. I want to see him be a forward, and I want to see him contribute on those top two lines because he has what it takes, I believe.
Yeah, he's got himself a handful of points. He's got 9 assists, so there's another guy. He knows how to pass the puck. He's obviously observing the ice surface really well, really looking and identifying the open players and the open ice surface, and guys got the ability to score. And he's obviously putting the puck on their stick, which is excellent. So I think if he can just get himself plugged in with the right line, whether he's on offense or defense, because, if he's getting those assists when he's playing as a forward, he can definitely get those from the blue line, taking a hard shot from the point. And overall defensively, he's really does a really good job clearing bodies out in front of the net. Excellent job in his own corners, getting the puck and dishing it out and getting it moving through the neutral zone.
Also, Brett Hall is a guy who we thought would be a first or second, at least I did, I shouldn't speak for you, first or second liner who can go out there and get a bunch of goals for the Golden Grizzlies and be one of the better goal scorers this season because of what we've seen him do. He certainly struggled this year to do that for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, but we've seen him come on as a late for the Golden Grizzlies, and hopefully Hall can come through toward the end of this as we start the second semester here. I know he's come through a little bit toward the end of the first, and we're starting the second here in just a little bit. A couple of key games for the Golden Grizzlies here for Hall to certainly step up and prove that he should be out there.
He's one of the few players I've really been pulling for this season. Since the start, I thought, top line, second line, whatever. And I think he really has the ability to help out his teammates. He knows his role. Whether he's on the ice playing, whether it's power play or, 5-on-5, he knows exactly where to be, moves the puck well. He's got a good hard shot, and we've seen that in the past couple weeks, starting to develop a little more, starting to play a little more like he was in the second half of last season, and it started to carry over the past couple weeks, and hopefully that can transition into the next semester, because I think he has a really good opportunity to score goals. He goes hard to the net. He shoots well at the point, face-off circles. He's awesome in the shooting lanes, and he really knows how to forecheck and help out, guys like Kranker and Dalecki as well.
Adam Hoffa is a guy, and I know we just finished up our hockey show here, Justin, in our WXU studios, and Hoffa is a guy that I kind of don't understand why he's not out there, and I know I'm not the guy that makes that decisions, and I shouldn't question the wisdom of our coaches here, but he's a guy who, when you look at what Hoffa can do, he can do some pretty nice things for the Golden Grizzlies, and I think that if given more of a chance here, that he can really be that key guy, and I think he does things well when he does the little things, when he gets a little bit of ice time. I think he needs to get a little bit more ice time to make certain things happen out there for Hoffa, but I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Hoffa get stuck out there on maybe that first or second line and be able to go out there. Obviously, maybe not the first line, but you know what I mean. With the first and second line players at some point, maybe be able to really try to grind through and play and get some time to get some goals, Justin.
Another player who I think really observes the ice surface well and knows how to move the puck through the neutral zone. He's good along the boards. He's good on open ice. Strong guy. I would say probably one of the stronger guys in the team. And it's really tough to to sit here and judge him. Whether or not he's been doing good or bad. He doesn't get a lot of ice time. He played a lot of games, but again, he sits on the bench a lot, and we don't want to judge question the coach's judgment, but. You really want to see what he's got, and when he's not skating a lot, it's really hard to make a clear judgment on him. But overall, I think he'll be he has the opportunity to make ability to be a playmaker as long as he gets time.
Yeah, a couple guys that Joe Gunther, Brandon Johnson are a couple of guys who can work hard and do the little things. I really like Johnson in the fact that when he went to the corners, when he went through a stretch when he got his 3 goals, he really did a lot of things well, and he was really one of those playmakers out there for Oakland. So I really like to see that a lot, and I would like to see that continue. And again, same thing with Gunther. I like to see him be able to do a couple things and be able to do those good things out there, Justin.
Yeah, I think those guys really started to slide away from that as the semester closed out. They really were starting to lose focus on the basics and the fundamentals of the game, and it was really affecting them overall, offensively and defensively. They're putting themselves out of position. They're just kind of finding themselves in the wrong places at the wrong time. But I think those guys, they have good speed. They're good on the forecheck, and they're also good along the boards through the neutral zone, but they just need to pay attention a little more to the focus on the fundamentals and just realize the good things that they can do, and just try not to worry about too much with trying to score goals, I guess, right at this point.
Mike Murray's a guy who I think we need to get him going out there for whatever reason. He's a guy, he's struggled. He is a guy who people think has potential, and I want to see the potential out there with Murray, because if we can get Murray going, that's going to be pretty special next semester.
Yeah, a lot of penalty minutes for him so far. He's got over 70. It's most on the team, but I think overall for him as a player, he's got a lot of grit. He's got a lot of, aggressiveness, but he can channel that into the right way, whether it be forechecking or crashing the net hard, which is something that this team has really lacked a lot. We saw it in the past couple weekends, but I think for the first 10 games or so, it was really, really absent from their gameplay. And he's one of those players that has that ability to, knock bodies out of the way and screen goaltenders.
Captain Cody.